So good morning, everyone, and really lovely to have you here for this little dressing gown chat, as I promised, talking about how to have less stress and more joy. And I know that life is really busy for a lot of people between going to work or running your own business and career, the household chores, sometimes the cupboards are bare and it's like, oh, I've got to get groceries, keeping up with the washing, with the kids, with the family. All of these external pressures and demands sometimes do overwhelm us and make us feel like we've got things pressing in from all sides. And as a busy working mum running my own business with my husband away a lot for his work, out of town overnight for multiple nights a week with young children, I can certainly relate to that. And there are so many times that I feel overwhelmed. And it was actually 2 years ago that I invited my community online to ask me one question. If they could ask me one question, what would it be? And almost word for word, I had multiple people emailing me saying, Lauren, how is it that you manage the juggle of life and work and family and home? And so that was 2.5 years, maybe 3 years ago, when we were living in Canada. And life was really tough for me then. And I found, particularly with the dark, long winters, or the getting dark at 4 p.m., my mental health really took its toll on my mental health. And it was a really dark, challenging time for me with no family support around. And so I really had to practice my own tools and techniques and resource myself around how to cope, even with lots going on. So I just, at the time, I created a program called Overcome the Overwhelm, because that was what it felt like for me. And it was really amazing, both for myself and for people that took part. And it was an online group coaching program. I started as a 6-week program and connected once a week and just created this ongoing accountability. And what it also did was it helped me to really focus on doing those things for myself. So it was really life-changing for me as well. And I've now actually adapted and done sort of a new and improved version, which I'll share a little bit about at the end of this call in case any of you are interested, because I'd really love to help you further. And it's starting next week, so I'll tell you a bit more about it. And I've changed it. The new improved version is now 8 weeks, because 2 of the modules I was just trying to pack too much in, and I don't want you to be overwhelmed, so it gives you a bit more time to digest it all. So if you haven't already, or if you're watching the replay, on the replay, you can comment down below. And morning, Julian, nice to see you. And you can comment below with what is the key question that you have for me, or put in the chat box what is the key question you'd like me to answer, and I'll make sure I come on to that. Now, Sarah's going to cover off 4 things for you today, so I'll work through them in a second. But just a quick intro to me. If you don't know me, I'm Lauren Parsons, based in Palmerston North in New Zealand, and I'm a wellbeing specialist. So for the last 20 years, almost 19 and a half, I think it is now, I've worked in health and wellbeing. I was the shy, unsporty kid at school who got dragged along to an aerobics class when I went to uni by a friend, and I was really, really intimidated by the gym. But when she took me to that class, I found that I actually enjoyed it, so I kept going. And then when they said, hey, do you want to be an instructor? Come and see us afterwards. I said yes. So I went into the instructor training course, and it really changed my life, because it helped me to discover that I was capable of more than I imagined. And it kind of created this identity change for me in my life, that I'd always thought of myself as that shy, unsporty kid, but it got me up in front of people, and it made me realize how amazing it is to move your body and to boost your confidence physically and in every other way. And so I now love helping people to also boost their health and happiness. And my goal is to help you thrive. I work a lot with businesses now, because I know that if we can help individuals thrive, that flows on to help the whole organisation. And I really love speaking. So I do a lot of in-house workshops and a lot of conference speaking. And I also have one-on-one executive coaching clients. And then I love to do group coaching, because I love the environment that it creates. And then I've got a range of different books and things online, and I'm going to be giving away actually one of my sets of what's called my 10 out of 10 workout this morning, which is amazing. It's an awesome little workout that takes 2 minutes to do, and it fits in with my snack on exercise philosophy. Okay, so it's just a little bit about me. You can go and check out the website if you don't already know me more than that. But today I want to talk about how to reduce stress and anxiety, how to get out of the overwhelm trap, how to make it really easy to find you time for you, and how to stick to it, and a surefire way to instantly boost your mood. So let's dive into that. So the first one, looking at how to reduce stress and anxiety. Now, the first disclaimer is that I'm not here to talk about clinical depression or diagnosed anxiety disorders. We're not going to go really in depth at all, but I do want to share some tips that I know really help in the moment for all of us. So the first one, and perhaps the most profound one physically is to breathe diaphragmatically. Now, you may or may not have heard that, but as with everything that I'll share, I'll often say it's about the knowledge action gap. Sometimes we know something, but we don't always do it. So sometimes we know the things we could do or should do, but we don't always do it. So my goal is to help you close that knowledge action gap with some of the tips and stories I'll share, and hopefully some inspiration. So right now, let's just do it really quickly. Just put one, I'll put your hands back. I think you put one on your chest and one on your belly, or put both hands on your belly wherever you are, and take a deep breath in, ballooning that belly out, letting it totally relax. A deep breath in, balloon the belly, and then relax and breathe out and relax the belly back in. And if you want to breathe out just through your mouth so you can just hear it, is great. Deep breath in, balloon the belly, lift your gaze, tuck your chin in a little bit, look up, count the lights, breathe out, relax your belly. Do it again, roll your shoulders down and back, just deep breath in, balloon the belly, breathe it out, and relax it off. Now, if you've never done diaphragmatic breathing, that may feel really uncommon and unusual. What I invite you to do right this second is to just allow that to continue. So deep breath in, balloon the belly. You don't have to keep your hands there, you don't have to keep looking up. But it is an incredibly powerful way to signal to your entire body that you're calm and centered. So in the moments when you might feel anxiety creep up, or when you might be feeling stressed in the moment, you have this incredible power to switch your body out of that fight or flight mode that it's going into and into the rest, restore, repair side of your autonomic nervous system. So there's two arms to it, parasympathetic system and the sympathetic nervous system. And we need to get out of that stress sympathetic system and back into a parasympathetic, calm, restored system. And so that's really, really simple to do through diaphragmatic breathing, because it's the one part of that autonomic nervous system. You can't control how fast your hair grows or your skin repairs, but you can control your breath. You can lead the way that you breathe, and when you do that, it sends that signal to your entire body, your entire physiology and your psychology, that you're calm and centered and safe. And your brain can't focus on two things at once. So when you're reminding yourself that you're calm and centered and safe, it combats those feelings of feeling flustered or rushed or stressed or anxious. So that is one, very profound but very quickly shared tip with you around breathing diaphragmatically will incredibly help you reduce stress and anxiety. The second thing is to remind yourself to look at the situation that you're facing in that moment and to talk to yourself in your self-talk the way that your very best friend would talk to you. Or if you could picture yourself being your very best friend, talking to yourself, what would you say to you? Like if it was me and I'm starting to get frustrated or anxious or worried about something, if I could just say, hey, Lauren, just remember, in the big scheme of things, what is this going to mean 10 years from now? Does this really matter this much? Sometimes we get so caught up on the little things. It's like, oh my goodness, I'm going to a birthday party and I plan to get this gift and now it's broken and now I've got no time to get a gift and what am I going to do? Or I've run out of wrapping paper. Or sometimes it's the smallest things that can set us off. So to pause and breathe and imagine in your self-talk that you're speaking to yourself like your best friend or someone that you love and care about so much would speak to you. And if you can do that, you can take yourself out of the situation and look at it from a different point of view, where you can actually be calm and centered and give yourself a bit of self-love, literally, and a bit of great advice. So that's my other tip around that. Next one is just to take a nap. So anytime that you're feeling stressed and anxious, often it will relate to your energy levels. So my friend, just go and take a nap. Like if there's any possible way that you can take a nap, or even just to recline just for 5 minutes and close your eyes and breathe, it will totally shift your body's physiology, and that will shift how you feel, because our physiology affects our psychology. And also I'd say also work on improving your sleep. So if you have challenges around sleep, having great sleep is so fundamental to helping you weather any of the storms of life. I know some of you are facing really big things right now. And if you are getting quality sleep, you will be enabled to be able to help everyone else so much more. And then the last one that I have around, out of these just 4 little quick tips to help you reduce stress and anxiety, is to avoid social media. And I share that specifically because more and more it is becoming a real challenge in people's lives. We know that social media use is directly linked to increased rates of depression. And when you think about it, that makes sense. Like, we can enjoy going on social media and seeing, babies born and amazing positive things. And yes, there's some inspiration on there and there's some fun. But there is a whole lot of people sharing the highlight reels of their lives, okay? Perhaps you and I included. I know I do that at times. You share the good stuff, almost sometimes to make yourself feel better. Maybe you went out to an event and maybe, it didn't go that well, but you share the lovely photo. It makes it look better. It makes you feel a little better. So people are sharing their highlight reels. And when you compare your life to what you see online, it literally just makes you feel like, oh, wow, my life's not as boring, not as fun, not as inspirational, not like everyone else. But you've got to remember that people are sharing their highlight reels. And so I really recommend you limit your social media time and or unfollow certain people. If you are following somebody on whatever platform it is and you realize that their posts don't leave you feeling better than you were before you saw them, then just unfollow them. And that includes even if they are your friends. Maybe you need to unfollow some people. You can actually do that without having to unfriend them. You can unfollow their posts because it's really important what it is that you feed into your mind. The programs that you watch, the magazines that you read, the podcasts that you listen to, they feed your mind, and they will feed your fears and anxieties, or they will bolster your confidence. It depends what you choose to put in there. So, that's probably a whole separate tip as well, as think about what you're spending time breathing in and reading and absorbing. So hopefully those 4 tips, again, I feel like I'm going quite quickly because there's a lot I want to share with you, but there will be some gold in there. So think about the ones that will make the biggest difference for you and just try something out this week. Close that knowledge action gap. I also talked about the overwhelm trap and how you can get out of that and feel on top of things again. And the number one thing there is to get really clear on what is important to you in your life. So I'd invite you to do a little exercise. If you've got a pen and paper right now, find a pen and paper or grab one. Pause this if you're watching the replay and go and grab a pen and paper. And just make a list. Take some time to go and make a list of all the things that you do in your week. So just start writing down a list of all the things that you do. Like it might be, go to work, or maybe if it's your own business, it might be see clients, produce product, do marketing, do sales calls, whatever it is. Write down just a big list of all the things. Just do a brain dump, all the things that you do in your week. It might be doing the washing, it might be getting the groceries, it might be picking up kids from school, doing school drop-offs, it might be organising your children's social calendar, play dates, it might be taking things to the dry cleaner, it might be looking after parents, it might be looking after other family members or friends, it might be baking or cooking. What other things? It might be that you've got some creative things or some fun things for you. It might be going to the gym, going to a fitness class, going to Zumba, it might be painting, it might be reading, knitting. What other things? Just do a huge big mind dump on a big piece of paper and keep adding to that all the things that you do. Is it getting your warrant done, staying on top of housework? Did I even mention housework already? It's not top of mind for me, obviously. So, vacuuming and mopping and cleaning the bathrooms, tidying your children's bedrooms, or coaching your children on tidying their bedrooms, doing your financial planning, keeping up with your finances. If you've got your business, so it's updating your finances, doing invoicing. Maybe it's your household finances, paying the bills, balancing a budget. Just make a big, big list of all of the things that you do in your life. I'm trying to give you a bit of time to do that. Keep thinking about what else. What are the individual small tasks? Just keep adding to it. What are the things that you do in your work? Perhaps you break it down. There might be multiple demands in your work. Maybe there are volunteer things you do. Are you on committees? Are you on boards? Are you on the PTA for your school? Think about all the different roles and responsibilities that you have. This is a really powerful exercise to do. And again, I'd love to spend more time on this, but I just want to spend about 30 minutes together this morning. So invite you to do that brain dump, to get everything down. And now step back from that, or if you're watching the replay, just hit pause if you want more time to do that. Step back for a second and look at those things and put a star or a big smiley face next to all the things that you love. Just pick out the few key things on there that you really love. Maybe it's going to the Zumba class. Maybe I don't even put down fun family things like spending time with your kids, reading to your children, spending time outdoors, gardening. One of my favourite things is reading to my children, for example, or playing board games. So I hope I get those on my list. Reading books for myself. So put some stars or some smiley faces next to the things on your list that you really love doing. Might be some things are part of your work, might be that you really love connecting with clients or creating your products or coming up with new ideas for products or updating your website or doing your social media. Maybe you love some of those things. Put smiley faces next to them. So I invite you to do that. And then the second step is look really critically at all the things you do and just put some circles around the things that you don't love. Now, some of them I realise may be just part of your life right now and you're not sure what to do about that, but whether you know what to do with it or not, just put some circles around the things that you don't love. Maybe it's commuting. You know, there's a lot of time that we sometimes spend commuting. Maybe it's responsibilities that we've taken on that we don't really love. Maybe it's difficult situations. Maybe it's difficult people or relationships. Maybe it's tough stuff like managing your finances and your budget, or maybe it's just stuff you dislike, like having to do the washing or grocery shopping or household chores. So anything that is, just put circles around the things that you dislike. And now what you have in front of you is something that will help you to have real clarity around all the things that you do in your day and your week, and help you hopefully to be able to highlight the things that you love and the things that are a challenge. And even before I say anything else, it's probably starting to give you real clarity looking at your life and perhaps helping you to identify why you're feeling so overwhelmed. So that in itself is a really powerful step. The second thing I'd invite you to do is this week, don't look at all of those things, but just pick one thing that is something that brings you lots of joy, one of those smiley faces or those stars, and see how you can plan in more time for that. Or maybe there's even some things on your list that you didn't write down because I didn't say write down the things you want to be doing, I just said write down what you're doing now. Maybe there's something you haven't done even for years or you used to do back in the day that you'd love to do more of. Add it to the list and put a star or a smiley face by that and choose one thing you want to do more of this week and really think about how you can make that happen. And then the things that are circled, I invite you to probably take even more time, picture how could you delegate that or systemize that or minimize that in your life. So maybe it's using some courageous, assertive communication skills to minimize contact with that person. Maybe it's that you hire a cleaner to do that job. Maybe it's that you negotiate so you can work from home 2 days a week so you don't have to do that commute. Again, obviously without knowing what those things are, there'll be specific things. But these are things that I love to brainstorm with people individually. But I hope that even just getting that brain dump down, keep adding to it. If there's more things you think of, even after this call, and being able to highlight the things you love and don't love so much has given you clarity. Fantastic. And that is one of the first keys I recommend in terms of helping you get out of that overwhelm trap, because it helps you get clarity and see if you can move forward. I want to also talk about taking time for you, for self-care, because we all have heard of how important it is, but sometimes we don't do it. And so this is really critical to realize how important it is to take time for you and to actually close the action gap on that to make sure that you do it. Because there's so many people that I work with and hear from, and when I'm speaking to audiences, when I ask, how do you feel when you take time out just for you? The biggest answer that I get is that people tell me they feel guilty and they feel selfish. So if you can relate to that, if you have that sort of playing in your brain and your self-talk when you think, oh, it'd be lovely to just sit and read a book for an hour or just do something completely for me, just head out and leave all my responsibilities and just do that for me. But if I did that, I'd feel selfish. Or even if you don't say it, but subconsciously you know that that's there, I'm going to invite you to have a little mindset flip on this right now so that you can free yourself up from that guilt, because guilt is an icky feeling and you'll do everything you possibly can to move away from it, because that's how we're wired. So if you feel like at the moment that you can relate to that when you take time for you and you feel it's selfish, what I would say is that actually taking time for you, what it does is it fills up your cup. You know that analogy of fill your own cup up so that it can overflow? That when you take time out to do those things, perhaps that you've just written down or thought of, that you don't always spend time doing, things that light you up, taking time out to spend time in your garden, going for a walk, playing with your kids, walking the dog, reading, whatever your favourite things are that charge you up again. When you actually program in and take that time to do that, it fills you up so that you can then overflow with even more love and energy and passion to everyone else around you, in your work and in your home and in your life. And so actually not doing that means that you walk around as the impatient, grumpy, tired, lethargic, less than best version of yourself. And that, my friend, that is actually selfish. So this is the tough love part of today, and this is from my heart to yours, that I'll tell you that if you are walking around not taking time for you, and you are walking around being the worn out version of yourself, then that is actually selfish. And I share that with you quite strongly today because I really want to flip your mindset on this, that if you've been thinking, oh no, I can't take time for me, and you're just giving out to everyone else, organizing everyone else around you, giving, and you're running on empty, then you're probably at a point where you're not taking time for you and you're not sure how to get out of that. And so I want to flip that mindset for you so that you start to put yourself at the top of the list, or at least higher up the list, so that you actually fit in that time for that self-care. Because I know, and you probably know as you were talking through this, that it will be transformational in your life, that it will transform how you feel, and that it will have that positive flow on to everyone else around you. So remember, even if you're not doing it just for you, you are literally doing it for everyone around you. And that is why it's not selfish. That is why it is essential. So if you're taking notes again, I want you to write down taking time for me, and you can cross out the word selfish and you can replace it with a big essential. So taking time for me is essential. Awesome. Juliena's just asked a question here about meditation being really helpful, but she said that she feels like she'd have to get up earlier to fit it in. Yeah. Let me just talk briefly about, morning routines. What I find is in the morning, I just have a 4-minute morning routine. And what it does is it just means that even if I'm busy or even if I don't have much time, I will get up, I will open the curtains, especially in summer, or turn the lights on, put an uplifting song on, do a stretching and strengthening routine for me, because that's what I prefer. It's kind of, I guess, like a moving meditation, and I focus on what I'm grateful for, and I breathe diaphragmatically, and I set a positive intention for the day. And so I do all of those things in a very short space of time in just 4 minutes. And so, yes, I'm with you. I don't necessarily want to get up a whole lot earlier. Like some people have an hour-long morning routine. It's like I'm going to spend 20 minutes meditating and 20 minutes exercising and 20 minutes learning, and that's fantastic if you can do that, and I've got friends that do it and I know it's changed their lives. However, if that seems too much and you don't want to do it because just an hour is too much, why not start with just one song, the length of one song? Like my alarm is on across the room, I get up, so I've got my phone in my hand, but I do not go on social media. I keep it on airplane mode, and I go into my songs and I choose a song and I just do a stretch and little stretch and breathing routine, and it just starts me off on the right foot. And I can promise you that a couple of years ago, when I was totally stressed and anxious and worried about how my mornings were going to go, because I always ended up shouting at the kids and getting grumpy with them and having that mum guilt, it changed my life when I started doing that every single morning, because I started my day then calm, centered, and in the right frame of mind to go out and have a great day. And that then flowed on to how they interacted with me, and it just transformed our days, I promise you. So I don't know if that answers your question so much, but yeah. Oh, what's my intention for the day? Oh, actually, it's funny because I haven't done my morning routine, which is really terrible, isn't it, sharing that with you? But because I got up earlier than I normally do, I haven't actually done it yet. So I guess my intention for today, well, in the moment, the word that comes to mind is to be loving and be of service, because I guess that's what I'm hoping to do now. So yeah, so feel free, if you like the idea of setting an intention for the day, go ahead and type in for me in the chat. What is your intention for the day? How do you want to show up today? Do you want to be loving? Do you want to be fun? Maybe you've got something big and important on today. You want to be focused or confident, or whatever it is, any word at all. What's your intention for the day? I'd love to hear. Awesome. So I hope that that's helped you flip your mindset around self-care, and to realize that a little tip with it is you can do it in snatches like that. Like you can just literally just pause and breathe. You can just do a 4-minute morning routine. It'll make a big difference. And the last thing I want to talk about is how you can instantly boost your mood. Okay, so Juliena's going to be patient and smiley. I love it. Yeah, so good. Jessica's going to be happy. Wonderful. And even just saying that, like it's lifting me up just reading that and then speaking that out for you guys. Because so often, in the moment, if something does come along, if you decided you're going to be happy, it's just so much easier to flip into the happy response or the patient response. And sometimes we forget the way that we intend to be. So really powerful. Oh, there's so much I want to share, but I'm going to give away my prize soon and talk about my 8-week program, which starts next week, which I'd love to invite you to join if you're interested. But I just also want to talk about an instant way to boost your mood. And so there's 5 little things you can do. One is to lift your gaze. So to count the lights in the ceiling, which will look up and see the sky, to roll your shoulders down and back, to breathe deeply and diaphragmatically, and also to smile. So just give me your biggest, best smile right now. You can actually do all those things together. You can look up, smile, shoulders down and back, breathe diaphragmatically, and even to punch both arms in the air and say yes with me, because this is the international symbol for success. So eyes up, shoulders down and back, smile and breathe and say yes. And I'm going to sing for you. There's a little song that will help you remember this. And excuse me, my singing voice is not going to be great, especially at the moment. I'm a little bit congested from a cold that I'm just recovering from. But there's a way for you to remember this, and that is a song that you already know, really. And it's eyes, shoulders, smile and breathe, smile and breathe. Oh, my voice, oh my goodness. Eyes, shoulders, smile and breathe, and lift your arms to the sky and say yes. Eyes, shoulders, smile and breathe, smile and breathe. All right, and normally if you were here with me, I would get you to sing it with me, but you can just try that out on your own if you want. And I do that just so that, obviously to make a fool of myself, but just so that it'll help you remember those things. So in a moment when you're feeling like anxiety is coming up, stress is coming up, literally just think, oh, what were those things again? Eyes, shoulders, smile, deep breath, and lift your arms. Okay, so just do that for me wherever you are, whoever's around you. Just do a big yes with me. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Yes! It is going to be an amazing day today. Okay, so I know that I've just gone through a whole lot of things really quickly with you, but what I'd love to do is, oh, thanks, Kathy. Kathy said that her 7-year-old says, if you smile, it's hard to be sad. And it works. It absolutely does work. Absolutely. That is such amazing wisdom from a 7-year-old. I love it. So what I'm going to do is give this away in a minute. And that's another thing actually that I didn't talk about so much, but moving your body is an instant way to boost your mood as well. And so this here is a little workout that I created that is called the 10 out of 10. Oh, it's probably backwards for you. It's called the 10 out of 10. And it's 10 exercises, 5 of cardio, 5 of strength. So it's a great full body workout, but it's something you can do all just with your body weight. And so what I've created is these poster sets that have got 2 large and 2 small of this, and there's a level 1 and a level 2 versions. There's like a higher impact version, and it comes with the videos that show you doing it with me, teaching you the technology, the technique, and then also guiding you through it start to finish. So this here, I'm going to give that away. So what I'm going to do is just go to multiple screen view, and then I'm going to close my eyes and just point at somebody and see who's, oh, I'm on me. Hang on, I'll do that again. And point at somebody. Okay, I'm on Jessica. So Jessica Goggin, I am going to send this out to you. Okay, so congratulations. See, this is why you had to be here. But if anyone's interested, they're in my online store, you're welcome to grab one. They're just $30, and they're free shipping at the moment if you'd like one. And what it is such a great way to instantly boost your mood, because it takes 2 minutes and it helps you to snack on exercise, which is such a wonderful way to instantly uplift how you feel. Okay, more than just the health benefits, the mental health benefits are huge. Fantastic. Hey, the last thing I want to do is just share with you, and I might share my screen so I can just show you because it'll be a little bit more visual. Just show you, here we are. And I've got this Overcome the Overwhelm program. So part of this opportunity to connect with you is that I thought it was great and crazy maybe to connect at 6 a.m, but I just thought it was great in case there's anyone that would love more support around this to help you really reduce stress and boost your joy. This program has been created for this. So there's absolutely no pressure whatsoever, but I do just run this once a year and it's kicking off next week. So what it is group coaching for 8 weeks. So we connect together for 8 consecutive weeks, 1 hour session. And this is for you. I think I say here that if you want to achieve more, say no to things, de-stress. If you're feeling stressed and disorganized, if you feel like life is getting on top of you, you feel like you don't have time for yourself, if you've lost your spark and you want to get it back, then this is for you. And what we will do is help you overcome that feeling of overwhelm, get you out of the grind of your day-to-day life, help you regain control and feel calm and confident, boost your resilience, a whole lot of other things. I'll send you the link to this. You can read this later. But what it is 8 weeks where we go through 8 different modules. And I thought I'd just bring this up so I can chat through that. We talk about how to create space, start the day right, the keys to mastering a morning routine, how to master your sleep, how to declutter. Even for Marie Kondo made it popular. Decluttering is huge in terms of helping you feel less overwhelmed. How to set boundaries and use assertive communication and say no. How to gain clarity and save time. So 2 great sessions that will save you hours a week. And lastly, how to cultivate joy. So those are the 8 powerful modules. And what we do is connect online like this, either at 12 o'clock lunchtime on Thursdays or 6 a.m. on Fridays. And if you're interested, you are so welcome to join me for this. It's whole lot. It makes it a really affordable way for me to connect with you and do coaching and answer your questions directly, and you'll learn so much from others as well. But rather than it being the cost of one-on-one coaching with me, it's just $5.99 for this 8-module program and 2 months of support. You can ask any question anytime you want. But right now, I've also got an early bird special on, which saves you $100. So it's actually only $4.99 right now if you register before Monday. So that's Monday, what is it, the 21st of October if you're watching the replay. So I invite you to head over to this page. I'll send you the link, and there's a little 3-minute video here that talks through how that works. But I just want to share that with you because I just want to extend the invitation and give you more support. So just to wrap up, thank you so much for joining this morning. I'm going to end the recording now, just so that the replay isn't too long for you. But I hope this has helped you to reduce your stress, to boost your joy. Go out and have a happy day. Be patient, be kind, be smiling. Make sure you comment or email me. Let me know what was the best thing you got out of this, and let me know if you have any other questions. Thank you so much, ladies, for joining me in person. Thank you for being here live. Lots of love to you. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and I hope to see you soon.